show my love for you.
Welcome to Marriage Mondays, where we talk about all things marriage and, of course, most importantly, family. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in and listening. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you. This is Marriage Mondays. Hi guys, welcome back to Marriage Mondays. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about before you get a divorce, do this first. So if you want to know how we overcame our separation and how you can get back from divorce, keep on watching. Hi.
What do I do?
Y'all, it's like super early in the morning. We had a rough night because of a child. And we're operating on a little bit of sleep. But the show must go on. We must record. So, today's topic about divorcing and kind of some tips of what people can do to overcome it. Divorce is like everyone's situation is different, and every tip may not work. And it could be a little tricky when it comes to that. But what would you say the first thing that people should do once they're hit with either I don't even know what position you want to do it in, whether it's the position of I want to file or the position of my spouse just told me they want a divorce. So what do you think is the first thing should be done?
Pray.
Come on, God. Pray for what exactly? Because I think that's the big thing too. Because you have to know what you're praying for or about.
Well, I mean, the main thing is praying for, I guess, God to show you what's best for you, because that's really what a relationship starts with, is you being in a good spot, you being, mentally, spiritually, emotionally sound. You have to take care of you first before you can take care of anybody in a relationship. So it's really just kind of, really reflecting and praying on, you. Mm-hmm. Just what's, asking God what's best, what is truly best for you, what is truly best, for you to be happiest. If you married somebody and it was a mistake, I mean, it is what it is. You just have to, work through that. But it's no sense of being in a relationship if you're not happy, and if you know at no point, this is going to be a good situation. So yeah, you just pray about you and take it from there.
Yeah, I think with us, most of marriages is they're probably dealing with the spirit of lust. And if you don't know that that's what you're dealing with, then of course it's going to be tough and it's going to be hard. The first thing I would say is, it was this movie, and I'll put it on the screen. I don't remember the name of it. I want us to watch it. But his dad gave him a book of I think it was 60 days or 30 days, do this with your spouse or something, if once y'all going through a divorce. And of course it was, all spiritual, but the gist of it was do things nice. So do nice things for them. Yeah. So in the midst of you being hurt, or you want to give up, then I would definitely say do something out of the norm that you would not do. Do not operate in your flesh. I know you probably want to fuss and cuss and yell and, throw things, but I'll say do the complete opposite of what your flesh wants to do. kill them with kindness. So I'll say do nice gestures and don't stop. They of course probably won't be receptive of it, or you probably really don't want to do it because you're like, no, I'm kind of over this. I want a divorce. But just do it and see God work and see how it can change and be awesome and just totally change the whole narrative of the situation. And it definitely changed. I wonder if that was off a true story.
Yeah, I know what movie you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
Dang.
Either. But it's like yeah, it's like a, I want to say it's 30-day or 60-day challenge, basically.
Yeah.
And basically, and the crazy part about it is, like, if for whatever reason you can't get through a day, you gotta start back over. So it's like it's a book. So the movie was based off a book.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, it's a real thing.
Okay. I knew it
so
worked for real.
so yeah, it's because like in the movie, his daddy was telling him like he had to start over like 7 or 8 times because like he might have got like day 8, and day 8 was like, you know,
Something
take
you
your
didn't
wife out
Yeah.
for this and that for 4 hours or something like that,
Oh,
and he was like,
wow.
nah, and it wasn't. So he started all back home. So it was like yeah, it's intense. Like it might take you a dang near a year
Long
to
time.
do the 60-day or the 30-day challenge. So because
Yeah.
cause you might have to keep starting all back over. So, but yeah, to that point though, yeah, that type of stuff works depending on too if both of y'all are. So if you got one person that don't really necessarily want to, you got the other one who does, that might work. Or if you know got people that's on the fence or whatever. But yeah, I guess that also depends on how both parties are feeling. So yeah, but yeah, definitely killing with kindness thing could work sometimes.
And it's confusing the enemy. I heard once when you rejoice and when you don't operate in your flesh, when bad times come, not any other time, but when bad times come, it really confuses the enemy. So, because really what that is who loves marriage? God. Who hates God? The devil. So anything God ordained or hates, he's going to attack. So he's him and his demons are all up in there when it comes to divorce. And so when you do something that is completely totally opposite of what you want to do out of your flesh, it will definitely confuse him. And that's where the change can start. And that's where God can come in, especially if you're rejoicing him in the bad times. That's when he could come in and really put his hands on it. But with us, I had no idea I was dealing with the spirit of lust. And it wasn't even nothing that, and I can understand now when people be like, no, it's not the spouse. Cause you'd be like, oh, you changed and all that. But sometimes it is you, if you haven't dealt with, because we got married, I was 21 years old, so I was young and had no knowledge of the Bible with all of this stuff, and I had no idea that I had the spirit of lust and I had a problem. And it can be from the smallest things that y'all think is not small, like porn, masturbation. All of that stuff is a gateway that you're bringing into your spirit. And whatever you're feeding your spirit into, that's what's going to come out. So by me doing that, masturbating all the time, porn, yes, y'all, this has an effect. And y'all may think it don't, but it does. So if you're here and you want to say your marriage, you can keep on watching. But if you like, oh, no, I ain't finna do that, then go ahead and exit stage left and get your divorce. These are for the people that really, really want to go through it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a spiritual thing. This is the natural realm, but things happen in the spiritual realm first. So that is just manifesting the spirit of lust in it. So I knew I had to do some things to get that away and be aware of it. And then we can come back together and work it out and do those things. But sometimes you have to take a step back and reevaluate yourself as well. Because a lot of these men and women do not know that, oh, I'm letting the spirit of lust enter into my spirit. And that's why we're having problems. Or that's why I'm thinking this situation over here is better than this situation. It's not. It's not. Because as soon as you go over there, spirit of lust leaves. Somebody had said that. I don't know who it was, but somebody had said that. And I was like, oh my gosh. But it's just a lot of things. Y'all read your Bible. But it's just it's just a lot of things that could come through with divorce. But I definitely think the biggest thing is to not operate in your flesh. Do the complete opposite. Be joyful, be happy, be calm, be compassionate, empathize, be patient, don't be angry, don't be bitter, don't slander each other and do all of that. Like literally do love, kindness and compassion and see everything change. But like you said, pray. And I think fasting as well too.
Yeah. I mean, whatever is it. I would say whatever works for you, but I mean, what I get down to the nitty gritty, like whatever God says is gonna work for you. But yeah, like I said, your main thing is, to your point, you just have to do work on yourself, because two things can be true. So your spouse could be going through things and changing and figuring out stuff and all that type of stuff, and then you could have some flaws as well that's preventing your relationship from flourishing in any kind of way. So like I said, it ain't, you can't never just say, oh, because again, I don't want to say beat yourself up, because your spouse could just be terrible. It's true. I mean, at the end of the day, your spouse could just be terrible, and you could not be doing a whole lot wrong. It could just be them. If they got demons that they not working through, or they done let something into they spirit, or or whatever it is that they got going on, and you ain't really doing nothing wrong, and then so it's just like a person is being abused. It was most of the time it's of course wives, but his husbands out there getting abused too. But if a wife is doing everything that she know to do, just trying to be the best wife and mother that she can, and there's not a whole lot of more that she can do physically to please this person, and then yet he come home every night and just beat the crap out of her or whatever. He just got some demons, and for her to say, oh well, I got some things that I need to work on. Of course, yeah, nobody's perfect. We all got things to work on, but nobody don't deserve to be abused. So so that's something that he got an issue with. She don't really need to work on anything. So the only thing she need to work on is getting the hell out. That's the only thing she need to work on, because outside of that, that's it. Because
well, how do you feel about that? I was gonna ask, because I've heard a lot of pastors say, God doesn't want you to get beat.
So you got two. So first, you can go down a rabbit hole of what is leaving. So, are you leaving this person physically? I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Should you maybe leave this person emotionally or spiritually? Maybe not. But that's two total different things. To physically move your body in a safer place, especially maybe if kids is involved and stuff like that. I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with that because this person got some demons that is physically putting you in harm's way and possibly your kids. So to leave them physically, and which we can get at that in a little bit too, it's not the same as leaving them spiritually and emotionally. So
I just want us to realize everything is not about us, and I'm trying to use my words carefully here, but I feel like we have to go to God and say, God, what do you want me to do? Because that could be the devil, and you leaving is exactly what the devil wanted.
So we put too much stock into what's going on in the physical realm. We put too much stock on me being able to touch you, and I'm showing you that that's how I show my affection to you. That ain't important in God's eyes. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there right now. Newsflash. Put it on the screen. That is not important. The physical is less important. I'm not gonna say it's not important, but it's less important than what goes on in the spiritual. For me to leave you alone physically is nothing because I can always walk back. But if I leave you alone spiritually or I leave you alone emotionally, that's saying something a whole lot more than physically. I can get in my car right now, leave this house, and come back in an hour. If I leave you spiritually, I might not be able to come back.
What the heck does leave you spiritually mean?
Meaning I don't care about you. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you live or die. I don't care I don't care. I have no care about you in your life, in your damnation or your salvation. You mean nothing to me.
Yeah, that's definitely the devil.
Exactly.
That's why I said, y'all, do not operate in the flesh.
Exactly. You don't, because
don't leave him spiritually.
Don't leave them spiritually. And most of the time, sometimes, and not all the time, because again, but a divorce, especially if it gets nasty, that's what happens in a divorce. That's what happens. These people become enemies. They can't stand the sight of each other. They can't talk to each other.
Well, because
they
that
can't.
spirit is in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying.
It.
That's leaving somebody emotionally. I can physically be around you and I can't stand you because all I'm doing is looking at you with the side eye. I want to fight you every time I see you. So to be around somebody physically don't mean anything because you could literally be hating that person and be around them 24/7. How many people be around people they hate all day? Their coworkers. Hate them, but they sitting right beside them in the next cubicle over and talking trash every chance they get to each other, about each other. They walk. Look at this fool over here, where he walking. God dang, bro, like what? Like,
and because it's money involved, y'all can work together.
Exactly.
Y'all can put y'all differences aside. Why can't you do that with your spouse?
Exactly.
Come on now.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Physical is not. Physical is fickle.
Yeah.
Being in a physical spot with somebody don't mean anything. So to that point, when you say leave, if a person is getting abused or the person just don't feel good in their house or in their home, in their dwelling, then maybe you should leave. Maybe you should separate. And I think,
y'all, please don't put you in it. Please go to God, because I know a lot of people be like, and I'm not saying if you're getting beat that you shouldn't leave. No, I'm not that type of person. I'm gonna tell you, go to God, ask him what he say. I'm not finna sugarcoat nothing. I'm not finna make y'all feel comfortable. Life is not about how your comfort. Yes, God, Jesus comes to give us life and life more abundantly, but in the hard times, we have to go through hard times, y'all, in order for us to build our endurance. So what I am saying is see what God says about it. And then if you pray about it, the Holy Spirit come to you and God says, leave. In the name of Jesus, leave. And I know there's some people out there right now that probably feel stuck and they already got that word from God to tell them to leave. And y'all just feel very scared that y'all don't ain't got nowhere to go, or you feel like they're gonna kill you, or whatever the case may be. I'm telling you right now, if the Lord said leave, you can do it. Leave right now. If you are watching this and the Lord and the Holy Spirit said leave, please leave. Say, Lord, guide me. Just start packing your stuff. Just that's what faith is. Faith without works. I know it's a lot of sayings about that, but just start packing stuff. Just start. Just start. As soon as you take that first step, God probably gonna catapult you up. So if he's telling you to leave, leave. But what I am telling you, go to God first, because sometimes as humans and as flesh, as soon as it gets hard, then we want to be comfortable. So what I am saying to you is do what God tells you to do. Go to him, fast, like we were saying, fast. Go on a fast and don't do no, oh, I'm going to just get off social media. I'm just going to stop drinking alcohol. Deny your plate. Deny your plate. Especially if you're getting abused. Deny your plate and fast. Prayer and fasting works. Do it. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying do what God tell you to do. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't know your life. I didn't write your life. I don't have the book of life. Oh, okay. So Melissa, okay, December, she's supposed to be doing this. No, I don't know. So go to God and ask him what you need to do.
I mean, I think that just all goes back to what I said initially, because the other thing about it is we're not going to act like, everybody has a good relationship with God and everybody knows how to fast and everybody knows how to pray. So a lot of people that say they believe in God, but they don't know how to pray. And that's wild to think about, but it's true. And that's why, again, you have to self-reflect. You really, so you, in if there's anything that you can lean on when you feel like you're in a situation, is your faith. So you really have to self reflect and figure out figure out, okay, how do I get closer to God? How do I, some people saying pray. Again, how do I pray? What, to your point, what do I pray for? And then people saying fast. I ain't never fasted a day in my life. Well, how do I fast? Like, and then of course, read the Bible. I just ain't good with just sitting down with a book and reading. There's a million ways you can read the Bible, but you have to find all this stuff out for yourself, and you do have to do a little bit of work for yourself. But understanding that you have to lead, you have to lean on your faith, because that ultimately that may be all you have. Because if people are failing you, which they will. So if people around you are failing you at that time, sometimes you have to come to a point where all you got is God. And again, like I said, it's for some people, for a lot of people, they just don't know how to even start that process. And like I said, I mean, and been there, done that. And typically as you get older, sometimes it becomes a little bit, I don't necessarily say easier, but it becomes a little bit, I guess, more understandable maybe is the word, because you've been through so much, you've been through things, you've seen so much, you've seen other people go through it, you've seen this, you've seen that, and so sometimes it get a little bit easier. But no matter really what age you is, again, if you go back to kind of grounding yourself, whatever it is, whatever, again, God is telling you that you need to do. But to your point, it don't matter what nobody else did. Like I always say, therapy works for me. Might not work for you. I ain't gonna never tell nobody. Well, sometimes I do tell some people they need therapy. But I mean, I ain't gonna necessarily ever say, oh, well, you ain't gonna be able to heal if you don't go to therapy. Not gonna necessarily say that to anybody, but I'll tell you what worked for me it worked for me. It helped me. And then what kind of thing? Some people say,
I was just gonna say that's a whole
just
rabbit hole.
you just talk to people on the phone. That ain't real therapy. Says who? I mean, what? Okay, again, what is going to work for you? To your point, fasting. Fasting is a little bit. Everything is a little bit of a rabbit hole, but fasting is a little bit of a rabbit hole. What is going to work for you? If you do in fasting, if you ain't never, you know, again, like you said, denied your plate before, that may be a little difficult for you to do. So again, pray to God, pray for God's grace. Pray that he can teach you what you need to do. It may be baby steps, it may be gradual. To your point, maybe it is just don't do this for a while, don't do that for a while. You build in increments. So again, it starts with not tearing yourself down.
All right, guys. We normally would do a black fact of the episode, but this one was pretty heavy, so we're not gonna do on this episode. But I do encourage you guys to look up. I know this is heavy. You probably gonna be like, no, I want to research this, what y'all talking about. But in your day, it may brighten your day. Maybe just do a quick Google search to see what the black fact of the day is. But please check out our earlier episodes. We did do black facts on there, so y'all can check those out and get some more knowledge about Black history and everything that entails. But yeah, guys, that has been another episode of Marriage Mondays. I hope that blessed you, and I hope you get out that spirit of offense and really just tune in and take yourself out of it and look at the bigger picture and say, okay, God, what am I supposed to be getting from this? And he will guide your steps. He will guide you. He will guide them. But all right, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. See y'all next time. Bye.